And hello everyone and welcome back to our coverage of the Gym Challenge number 7 here at Psychocultural Collectibles. I am Jesus Coronel back at it again with Dennis Geisler, and we have made it to our semifinal round, and guess who's back on stream? Arnie is in the semifinals, believe it or not. He'll go up against Abigail Watson and her dastardly team, and hopefully one of these two players will be good enough to be on the other side of the bracket, as we don't have the coverage on our monitor.
For Call the team dastardly. It's a fun team. It's got Shenpao and Dragonite.
That's like what we've been seeing like a lot of these times, and that's just how the cookie crumbles up to this point, and it's just how we're going to be seeing our team sheets for this battle, and we're going to be seeing this from Abigail's perspective as we disconnected for some weird reason. Oh, we're just checking.
Pokemon is fine.
Yeah,
everything is fine. We're playing
Pokemon. Oh, there you go. We had to check the nicknames. Apparently, we forgot about that.
It's easy to forget, and everyone has such funny nicknames too.
I'm not the one for nicknames because I'm personally never good at naming Pokemon.
Me too. Abigail has, interestingly, it's Metal Coat Golden Go. Try to boost up the power of that, make it rain just a little bit. Not going to go for the leftovers, which I've seen a couple times today to maintain the bulk, I guess. A little bit of that survivability for the Goldengo.
But here's the thing. Metal Coat on Goldengo makes sense because it gives you a damage option without the need of the choice specs or the need to go for a nasty plot.
Yeah, exactly. It does give you a bit more damage regardless, but at the same time, we've seen a lot of great opportunities for Goldengo to nasty plot today. I think that's just the combination of 3 immunities plus an immunity to status moves that really helps Goldengo get that nasty plot off and get the extra damage. But regardless, Metal Coat will help it do some extra damage in any case. Make It Rain's always a good option.
It is, but against a team like Arnie's, you only have like, you only have 1 resistance before Terra.
Yeah.
And the one guaranteed resistance is going to be the Urshifu Rapid Strike. The Terra style will be resistant afterwards. It's going to be the Rillaboom and the Como-O, but that's just about it. Oh, and also the Tornadus.
Yeah, most of them are resistant after Terra, but it's not a big deal regardless, because you can usually feel out the Terrastal. And even then, like, I don't know, extra damage even after a nasty plot is always a good idea, too. Just good damage.
It is just good damage, and here we go. We are going to get started here with our top 4 matchup, our semifinals here at Psychocultural Collectibles, our Gym Challenge number 7. And here we have Arnie leading Tornadus and Fluttermane straight out of the game, and Abigail goes Urshifu Amoonguss.
As someone who defeated Arnie with this lead, what do you feel when you see this?
Well, it wasn't exactly Among Us here, but see, the reason
against this lead from Arnie,
you have to scout for the tailwind because he's gonna get it off without a problem, since Abigail has no speed control whatsoever, other than like maybe priority moves from Aqua Jet and Sucker Punch, which and also we don't see the Dragonite here, so extreme speed also not an option. And the thing just becomes, Arnie's gonna have the speed control here. How do you outlast his damage output? Because a lot of his damage right now comes into this Fluttermane. Tornadus instead is actually just gonna switch out immediately. Maybe he's trying to get a read on a Spore with this Rillaboom switching.
Yeah. It's definitely an option there if you didn't really like taunting immediately, but also didn't want to Tailwind either.
And Abigail's going to Terrastalize immediately. And I think this is the immediate Urshifu into a water type.
Yeah, and I think that...
Oh, no, never mind, it's poison.
Oh, it is poison. Interesting.
So he has to Riley Factura check.
Yeah, and it'll let it take damage from the...
But the Fluttermane a lot better, and it is just going to be...
Just take down
it's also Choice Scarf, so that's just a Fluttermane down, and that's Arnie already making a... I wouldn't say a terrible read, but maybe he misjudged the situation with the Tornadus.
Just a little bit, and I really like this.
Don't get me wrong, this does have to be Among Us no matter what, but if it lost your Fluttermane, I think something might have went wrong with your decision making, but I wouldn't think it was your fault. It was more so Abigail...
Did block the Spore, though.
yeah, there's the Spore block, obviously, but like... At least you got the Terra out of the way from the Urshifu, but it's still, you did not want to lose the Fluttermane for it, as Como-O going to come in now for Arnie.
Yeah, and I guess the positive here is that Como-O gets spored.
You just fake out.
You do fake out. That's true. You get to fake out.
You're gonna fake out body press, and now close combat's not touching you. And
Yeah.
you saw how little damage Surging Strikes does to a combo like his.
Yeah, it's the Iron Defense right now, and it already does very little damage. Well, through the Surging Strikes, which is always going to do the same damage. That is the thing. Like, Urshifu is so strong that you can go Terra Poison and Choice Scarf for all the utility purposes you need and still do enough damage. The problem is, in this situation now, where Como heals up all the damage that you deal, now you need to make sure you have an option in the back, both to deal with Steel Como and to deal with Dragon Fighting Como.
Thankfully, Abigail did bring the out, which is Sacred Sword, but that's also just gonna have to be dependent on whether or not the Terra Steel comes out from the Como.
You have to make sure you also don't get hit out of being able to do it, because that's
I think a +4 defense Como should be fine to be put to sleep too. Yeah, Jim Pao comes in here. I mean, one more Iron Defense should do the trick, but the key is you do not Terra right now if you want to preserve your Como against something like the Sacred Sword. As the high horsepower goes into the Champ Pao, tries to catch the body press into the Champ Pao, so now you don't have to worry about the Sacred Sword anymore.
Yeah, exactly. That was the worry I had, where keep an eye out. You might just lose. You might just get hit really hard by these Pokemon, and it's not even like it was a super hard hit. It was just enough damage. Chen Pao is just really frail.
It is. That's why he's typically holding a Focus Sash.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, unless you're Jamie Boyton giving an Assault Vest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but all you have is a Goldango to potentially threaten, and your one threat to the Iron Defense Iron Defense Como is just gone because Sacred Sword would ignore the defense boosts, and now you have to deal with Arnie's onslaught of Pokemon. Although Goldango once again pins his Como in a very weird spot because you only have a Tornadus in the back and the Flutter Mane fainted.
Yeah, the problem is the high horsepower from the Rillaboom, which will do plenty of damage to Goldengo.
And to the Terra Poison Urshifu in the back.
Exactly.
Nasty Pot.
To be totally honest, Goldengo is the win condition here. It needs to, or at least it's the condition to beat Como. Oh, that's a lot of damage.
That is a lot of damage, and that's the second Iron Defense going up on this Como just to make sure it is safe from something like that close combat in front of Urshifu later on in the battle. And there is a Pollen Puff from Abigail to the Goldango. Let's see how much health it gets back up. That might, yeah, that's going to be enough to live another.
To get another one, yeah.
It is going to be enough to live another high horsepower. The question just becomes, is Como forced to Terra Steel just to make sure you don't take a lot of damage from Make It Rain?
Yeah, and at the same token, how much damage does Rillaboom take from this? I think is the big question.
Well, we did see it outspeed the Goldango. No, the Goldango went first.
The Goldango went first, so Goldango will get to at least move first for this.
Yes, it will, and that only means trouble for Arnie because you have to make a decision about this Tornadus in the back.
Yeah.
And it is just going to be the Rillaboom switching out for this Tornadus, and I think this Tornadus will take the fall.
I think it will, which is not a big deal for either of them.
As we're going to see a Terra Steel from Arnie's Como.
Yeah, and that's a fine decision. It'll take not much damage against Make It Rain, which actually we'll see how much it takes against Make It Rain. It should do pretty good damage, to be totally honest.
Here we go. This is also Metal Coat boosted. It does over half.
That's a lot of damage. It does reduce down now, so it won't do over half again, but that's a lot of damage.
And now it comes down to whether or not this. Okay, Body Press goes into the moon. Guess how much damage? Just half. And it will munch on that Citrus Berry to gain half of his HP back. A Spore is incoming. I think this Goldango might have enough damage. Oh, never mind. It's not a Spore. It's just another Pollen Puff. And this Goldango really has become the win condition.
Yeah, if you're Abigail, you can probably click Nasty Plot again.
I think Shadow Ball may be consistent here.
Shadow Ball. The Shadow Ball hit? Come on.
Oh wait, yeah, the whole proof thing. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot about it.
It's easy to forget, especially with the two proof abilities that Como brings. But I remembered Arnie's being bulletproof.
At least you haven't turned a fake out. But how much? You don't have enough damage to put out onto this Goldango.
That's the thing. I think the option here that is basically free is to Nasty Plot on the Goldango. You can Make It Rain as well, but you can just Nasty Plot onto the Goldango. Or just Make It Rain, get rid of the Rillaboom as quickly as possible.
No, never mind. That's not get rid of it.
Does
High horsepower connects onto the Goldango, not enough. So on the same damage it took earlier. Body press into the Lungus,
okay.
not enough.
And then Pollen Puff should finish off the Rillaboom, at which point Make It Rain should finish off the battle.
Yeah, this battle really came down to Arnie losing his Flutter Mane on the first turn of the game, and that kind of snowballed towards Abigail.
Yeah, it is impressive the degree to which Como makes every battle centralize around it, because this entire battle was, okay, can you defeat Como? Okay, how do you defeat Como? It's with Goldengo. Okay, how does Goldengo get taken down? Okay, it's with Rillaboom. Okay, how does Rillaboom get taken down? Okay, it's with Amoonguss supporting Goldengo as it nasty plots. And that just ended up being like a progression of turns towards the end of the battle, but it was really well played by Abigail to kind of build up that win condition there.
Yeah, that is the win condition that ended up happening for Abigail. And should we? I mean, what's Arnie's counterplay to something like the Goldengo other than, well, I mean, Flutter Mane, Arcanine?
I mean, the thing is, there are a lot of answers. It's just you have to kind of know what you're bringing. I don't know. I like the Como. The Como is a really good Pokemon. It was nearly defining in that battle. At the same time, if Chen Pao came in at a cleaner time, it wouldn't have been as much of an issue, because Sacred Sword could have come out and it would have dealt with the Como pretty quickly. So it was mostly a factor of Como not... It was mostly a factor of Chen Pao not doing anything that Como was able to become a much harder threat to deal with. And maybe it was intentional to let Chen Pao go down in order to get Goldengo in for free, but at the same time, it's not something you really want to do all that often.
No, not at all, especially given the fact that the Goldengo was the main win condition from Abigail at that point, because there was no Dragonite that whole battle.
Yeah. Yeah, that is absolutely true, and that's an Assault Vest Dragonite. I didn't notice that before. You usually see...
I see that's a lot of inspiration from Riley throughout this entire generation. And can I just say that Riley's been really good this generation, at least into this new DLC era, and really, some trainers are already taking inspiration.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, lots of sharing and inspiration in Pokemon. It's something I enjoy about the way that people build teams.
And that's going to be Urshifu Amoonguss once again for Abigail, and Arnie, instead of bringing the Flutter Mane as the lead, he'll have the Rillaboom next to the Tornadus.
Yeah, and it does give a very obvious incentive to Terra Poison again onto the Urshifu, because it won't take as much damage against Rillaboom's grass moves or against Bleak Wind Storm. It's also a reason to just U-turn out and say, I don't actually want to deal with you, and try to stay as protective as possible.
And Abigail is just going to Terra.
Will be the Terra.
I mean, it's just going to be Urshifu again. It is going to be Urshifu to Poison once again. Doesn't want to take any bit of damage super effectively from this Rillaboom.
No switches, so will be...
Should be a U-turn at the way this is going. Amoonguss just going to protect, make sure Fake Out doesn't come out.
It's Scarfed. You don't need to Terrastalize to U-turn, I feel.
No, and that's a Fake Out catching it off guard. It should be Bleak Wind Storm. If that's the case, no, it's going to be a Taunt instead. If that was Bleak Wind Storm, I think Urshifu would have been in very low health.
It would have been fairly low, although it wouldn't have been weak to the Bleak Wind Storm. That is good for Arnie, as it will read the Terrastal already, so you already know the Terrastal is coming out, or you already know the Terrastal is here. You know what the Terrastal is. You have an opportunity to taunt the Amoonguss if you want to for basically free.
And that's a switch out from this Rillaboom to not take as much damage as it possibly can. Como gonna come in, should take the U-turn a lot more comfortably.
Yeah, and it will be very happy to see that.
Oh my god, look at that damage.
It does like nothing. It'll be very happy to see Amoonguss get taunted, so it won't be potentially spored.
We'll see. Oh, it's gonna be Chen Pao Goldango once again for Abigail in the back.
Yeah, and I mean at this point,
although Arnie doesn't know that quite yet, but she should anticipate at least a Goldango somewhere.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and at this point, Chen Pao makes it a lot harder.
We was missed something, and Mr. Chen Pao doesn't importantly hit the Amoonguss.
Really
that's
big.
A lot of damage.
That's really big, though, because Chen Pao now maintains its Focus Sash. And it now has an opportunity to seriously threaten both of those Pokemon.
And there's the Spore into the Tornadus.
Taunt, it's a Spore. So now Tornadus doesn't get to do anything. Como, question for you.
How would you take an Ice Spinner?
Okay, well, that's one question. My other question, body presses damage,
It should not be nowhere near enough to knock out the Amoonguss. It should put Jen how to sash, but
it would drop because of Sword of Ruin, yeah? Because of the half the defense.
it doesn't have itself.
No, but it would drop Koma'o's defense,
Yeah.
which would drop the damage of body press.
And here's the first turn of sleep on the Tornadus. As we were having that discussion, the Ice Spinner just going to go into this Tornadus,
Yeah, just
take it out.
Yeah.
And the terrain's gone too.
Yeah. Which, yeah, that'll be helpful in order to reduce the passive healing, although the only one benefiting from the passive healing right then was Amoonguss, and didn't really matter all that much, especially since Rillaboom can just come right back in, and then the Ice Spinner will force the terrain right back out. But in any case...
Gotta think here, if you're Arnie, you have a Rillaboom in the back, and you have an Arcanine as well, so there's his answer to Goldango, but the problem's, once again, just comes down to that weakness from missing the Chien-Pao earlier.
Yeah, Chien-Pao is still really threatening.
At the bare minimum, you could just go Rock Slide and Body Press into the Chien-Pao slot. You probably bait a Goldango somewhere, or you bait a Rage Powder. Either way, you're getting massive damage onto something.
Yeah. Although Chien-Pao could just hit.
Oh yeah,
even at -1, you
could
could
just hit the Sacred Sword. Yeah, it could just hit Sacred Sword into the Arcanine before it Terras.
Yeah.
And even if it does Terra, it's like it's not threatening the Ursa Boo anymore. It's only threatening the Chien-Pao. Everything else is just resistant. He only brought it for the Intimidate. Rillaboom was coming back in.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a good use of Intimidate. You definitely want to lower that Chien-Pao damage, and if you... Abigail will get the opportunity to switch out the Chien-Pao if she wants, but now Arnie has the opportunity of coming back in and lowering the Chien-Pao's attack even lower.
But Chien-Pao not going to take any advantage of the attacks as Body Press does go into its Protect. Do we see a Spore go once again into the Koma'o, or do we see it go somewhere else? No, he tried to get the Arcanine.
Yeah, I don't love that decision just because the Koma'o is probably more threatening, both at the time and continuing.
Although this does give maybe a bait chance for Abigail to go into Goldango, particularly in their Body Press, because even if he does not go Body Press into the slot, Amoonguss isn't really threatened by much of anything, because we saw how little that Body Press did, even at even a +4.
Yeah, exactly, and you do have to continue to be worried, because I have to... I want to repeat this point from earlier. Sword of Ruin, in this case, is also a defensive ability, because it lowers the damage. It lowers the defense of Koma'o, so it lowers the body press damage.
Bakecow would have tried to go into the Goldango. Yeah. I think we're seeing Iron Defense here. Yeah, we're just taking the turn to make sure that this Chien-Pao didn't get any opportunity to set up, and now your Koma'o is asleep once again, and now it just comes down to whether or not this Goldango can get the setup cleanly.
I mean, as we saw earlier, Nasty Plot Pollen Puff is basically free. It heals up basically all the damage that Goldango takes from high horsepower from Rillaboom. So you can do that if you want, or you can just make it rain and try to get it over with a little bit quicker.
That is just what's going to be happening, because I mean, obviously Koma'o has to take a turn of sleep here, so not ideal for Arnie here. Yeah. Oh, he's actually going to switch it out with no turns of sleep. That's an interesting call to bring in his Arcanine.
Yeah, especially to bring in the Arcanine. It gets it in at a weird time, at a weird pivot, but it's not like Goldango will do any less damage if it tries to hit now. I guess it could have read the Nasty Plot and gone, okay, now I'll be faster in a minute. And even if you can't heal off both of our damage.
Oh, that's actually a lot less damage than previous games before, and you tried to read the Rillaboom swap out, and instead the Koma'o was the one that swapped out, and now Flare Blitz is kind of free.
Yeah, now it's kind of dangerous to be that Goldango here.
Although, you can just go for Flare Blitz into this Amoonguss slot. I mean, obviously, you can scout for it. Obviously, if the Goldango and the Amoonguss both protect. If neither of them protect, okay, well, there you go. I was gonna say, if neither of them protect, then this Flare Blitz would go to the Amoonguss. That's no more healing, no more supportive here, and that's what he tried to go for.
Yeah. Although at the same time, yeah, I mean, it's basically free. That option is basically free here, and it can still happen in this next turn. Goldango gets a little bit more healing, but it will still drop to another high horsepower. And Amoonguss, it gets Flare Blitz for a lot of damage. It could try to pull. It would be difficult. It would need to take this Flare Blitz. Amoonguss needs to take this Flare Blitz.
Which I don't think it will because of that choice band that it's
Which I
holding.
don't think it will.
And there it goes, and yeah, no shot.
Because now the high horsepower comes through and gets the double knockout there. Nice play by Arnie to
And
work
the
out of that.
Bidoof is popping off.
Bidoof is so excited. Bidoof is going.
Uh-oh, Make It Rain comes out first.
Oh.
Uh-oh, this is not good.
Way
Arcanine
faster.
down.
Bidoof is unhappy? I can't tell what the emotion of Bidoof is right now.
Arcanine down, and now, I mean,
Rillaboom did take the hit though.
high horsepower does connect. Goldango does go down here, but the problem just becomes Como O is now at neutral. You have to deal with an Ice Spinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you have to deal with the fact that it's also taking 0 turns to sleep.
Yeah, and you have to deal with...
And no more Thrasty Terrain either.
You also have to deal with the Urshifu coming back out.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
So
Is this the way Arnie's journey's going to end?
It might be. It's a nice round of top 4. He did a really great job today, genuinely. We'll see. It's still possible, I think. I think it's still possible. Urshifu is easily the fastest thing here. It should be able to take care of Rillaboom, I would imagine. I'd be surprised if whatever it did, probably close combat, yeah. Close combat.
Arnie is yet to Terra, mind you, so Terra Steel's the option here, but I don't think it's even good at this point because of the way this
That's the
Chien-Pao.
thing, you just get Sacred Sword close combated if you do that.
Well, we're still going to see that anyway. Let's see if it's actually gotten the Rillaboom for fire. And now it's going to be the Komodo Steel. Predicting Ice Spinner.
Yeah. And even then, like, you still have to go through your first turn sleep. So...
Yeah, unfortunately, this might be the end of the road for Arnie as close combat knocks out his Rillaboom thanks to Abigail's Urshifu still doing whatever it can to mean business into her run into the championship round. And let's see what this Chien-Pao did. It was the Ice Spinner, so it will take a hit at least. Pretty considerably.
I mean, the problem is not this turn, but next turn, where these Pokemon are still faster and have fighting type moves.
And no, that one of them has an Unseen Fist ability that can just go through Protect with the close combat.
Yeah, not that the Protect would really do anything at this point.
It would only help against the Chien-Pao, and here's the close combat from this Urshifu. It is enough for the knockout. Abigail Watson is going to finals.
Yeah.
What an accomplishment for her.
Yeah, that was pretty big, and now an opportunity to play in that final round.
Which, by the way, is currently being played right now as it currently stands. Gavin is up 1-0 against Giovanni Costa. They're in the middle of game 2. I don't know where the direction of the game goes, but Abigail will either have to face the undisputed champion or the undefeated trainer.
Yeah.
And as it currently stands right now for Vendor in an Iron Hands battle, and Gavin's gonna guarantee a spot in the final.
That's exciting.
It's gonna be Gavin and Abigail for the final, ladies and gentlemen.
That'll be a really good one. That'll be a very good one. I haven't seen too much of Gavin today, so...
Wow, we're gonna have the undisputed 3-time Premier Challenge champion, undefeated, mind you, in these tournaments. He lost before in Swiss rounds, but he's never lost a Premier Challenge at all.
Mm-hmm.
And can Abigail be the one person to dethrone him?
Only one way to find out.
Yeah, we'll take one more break and we'll find out the answer soon enough. We'll see you guys then.